can't do this shit.
Well, what did I tell you about using that word?
Can't should never be in a man's vocabulary.
And why not?
Because when you say can't, you ain't a man.
That's right.
Seek. Vocabulary. Can't should never be in a man's vocabulary.
And why not?
Because when you say can't, you ain't a man.
That's right.
Seek.
All right, check it out. Check it out. Now, I wanted that to be in the introduction of this podcast because honestly, I believe that it's the perfect way to open up this podcast. This will be the Boss Up Podcast. This is episode 1. If you build it, they will come. That's the title of this first episode. And let me go ahead and just break it down to you from the beginning. But this channel name is BOSS, and it stands for it is an acronym for Brothers of Struggle and Success. Now, the reason that I wanted to bring that clip into it as my introduction is because I've been thinking about doing this podcast for so long. I've kind of been pushing it off for a while. I work a lot. I just got off of a 12-hour shift, and I'm kind of just I've been using that as an excuse to not get started. And I found myself kind of just sitting here wasting time and not really getting started with this. And the more and more I look up, man, I've been talking about this damn podcast starting this podcast for about 2 years now. And it started with me supposed to do it with a couple of my brothers, actually. And it ended up not happening. And I think what the problem is they kind of, the reason why we stopped doing it is because one of my brothers said, you know what, he pulled me to the side when I tried to bring it up and was just like, you know what, honestly, I just feel like fuck the podcast, bro. Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, I just want to check on my brothers and, I just want to talk, and that's all that's important to me. Now, see, when he said that, it kind of, was like a knife going straight through my heart, because this Boss Up podcast, this podcast idea has been such a big thing in my mind. Like, I've been thinking about doing it and getting started with it for so long. But the more and more I think about it, like, I can't be mad at him, because how could I really be mad that he feels that way when, honestly, I've been backpedaling and put it on the back burner for so long this entire time. How can I expect somebody else to believe in the vision when I haven't put forth the effort to make it come true, and make it come into fruition? So, that's why I chose the title of this episode to be "If You Build It, They Will Come." I just feel like I need to get something started, and whoever ends up joining along the way, because this podcast, I don't want it to be just me, but I know that in order for anybody to buy into my vision and to really see what I'm doing, I had to get started on it by myself because this is my vision, not nobody else's. So yeah, I'm just, I'm getting started with it. I'm saying, bump all the excuses and, let's get to work. So again, the title of this channel will be called BOSS, and that is an acronym for Brothers of Struggle and Success. This is kind of just a template that I used on the PowerPoint, and the reason why I chose it is because it's a ball balancing on a cube that's being balanced on a surface or whatever. And I really feel like life is all about balance. So let's go ahead and go into the next slide. So I set up this presentation. I don't really know exactly which direction I'm going to go with this whole podcast, but I know one thing for certain is that I do want to do book reviews, and that'll kind of give us a direction towards where we're going. And, I'll explain more of it as we go on with this presentation. So, if you do see this video, go ahead and, just follow along. And, if you see this on YouTube, I just want to let y'all know you guys can always follow me at twitch.tv/it's Mr. GQ to you. Like, it's like it's spelled up there on the screen. And on there I will be doing all my podcasts live. I will be doing all of my I do reactions and all of that live, and everything that comes from this channel will be live on that on my stream. I'll also be gaming on there, doing reactions, all that kind of stuff. But anyways, let's stick to this podcast because this is what I really need to get out. So boom. So the Boss Up Podcast, episode 1. What I'm gonna be breaking down in this podcast, in this episode, I don't think I'm gonna get too many views because like when you first upload your first video on a YouTube channel, you don't really get too many people watching. Like it's not really on anybody's recommended. Ain't nobody gonna be subscribed to this channel. So if you do find this podcast, it's probably because I suggested it to you, or I honestly don't understand how you can ever, even you can't search it. I think you can, but it'll be hard. So if you do come across this podcast, man, that's God's will. You know what I mean? It's really God showing it to you, and I appreciate you if you stick around. But yeah, what I'm going to be breaking down in this episode is I'm going to be breaking down the plans for this podcast and for this entire channel. I'm going to really go into a breakdown of what BOSS really stands for and what it means. And what I mean by that is I already told y'all that it's an acronym for Brothers of Struggle and Success. But I'll be going in, taking a deeper dive into what the word brother really means and what the word struggle really means and what success really means. Aside from that, we chose the Boss Up. We chose Boss Up to be the title of this podcast, just because we were sitting around. We were in a circle, sitting around at the table, and we was like, "Damn, what are we gonna call the podcast?" We was like, a boss's mind, boss moves, boss game, just boss time. We was just thinking about all kinds of different things. And what we're trying to do with this podcast is we're just trying to help you level up in every single way. That's physically, financially, spiritually, relationship wise, like all of that. So what's the perfect thing that we could really come up with is to boss up. You know what I mean? Because as men, we're always told that we got to man up, we got to boss up, put your chin down and really deal with life as it's going on, just like how I'm doing right now. Like I said, I've been sitting here using the excuse of, me working 12 hours a day to not get started on this. And, really what I got to do is I just got to put my chin down and boss up and get started. Because my vision for this is to build something that'll live on forever and something that'll be bigger than me. You know what I mean? I don't have a family. I don't have kids. I don't have brothers. I don't have sisters. I don't have none of that. So I want something that if I was to go today, something that can, just be bigger, something that will be left behind and, will be as a memory of me. So yeah, we're just going to break down what boss up really means. And the title of this podcast, as I said before, is If You Build It, They Will Come. And I'm really just speaking to myself. Honestly, I feel like when you are giving advice, the realest advice anybody could ever give is usually something that they need to hear themselves. So this whole time, if you ever feel like I'm preaching or I'm ever just speaking, I don't ever want anybody to think that I'm coming at them like they're beneath me, or like they're like I'm trying to little bro them, or like I'm trying to be the big homie or anything like that. Like I'm not trying to be the teacher. I'm not trying to do anything. Honestly, this is what's in my subconscious mind that I know I need to hear myself. So I know that if I need to hear it, then there's other people out there that need to hear it as well. So, anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. Okay, so brother. The word brother, what is the definition of a brother? So there's a few definitions of it. But a brother can be a person who you are related to or somebody that you can really relate to. Like let's say you grew up in the same environment and y'all became friends, and like you're going to school to each other, you know what I mean? And y'all are going through certain things, y'all are dealing with the same things, y'all have the same teachers, you know what I mean? And I know while we're younger, we think that brothers is just people that are born into our family, but some people grow to be our family. And a brother is just a little bit closer than, well, it's it's pretty much almost like a best friend, but it's closer than that. Like y'all have more sentimental ties to each other. But a brother can also be a role model, somebody that you look up to. A brother can be a companion, somebody that you I don't know, somebody that you just I don't know, you kind of want around you, somebody that you admire, somebody that just I don't know, you like them being around type of deal, type shit. Um and then basically it's somebody that you love and respect, somebody that you are close with, somebody whose opinion and perspective you value, somebody you wish the best for and wants the best for you, somebody who has impacted and influenced your life, and somebody that you are and will always be there for, and vice versa. Uh, you know, uh, I don't know. There's certain things that we go through in life, and we all feel alone because at the end of the day, we all are born by ourselves. Even if you're twins, you can't be pushed out at the same time. So you're born by yourself, and when you die, you're by yourself. So a lot of times when we go through things in life, especially as men, we feel like we are alone. But there's people out there that we have that care for us, that genuinely care for us. Um, and when you're really going through something of course you don't want to be the Debbie Downer. You don't want to always call somebody, and you don't always want to be going through things and talking to them about certain things and bringing their mood down. You know what I mean? But there's always somebody that you can talk to. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's just y'all could go get some food. Y'all could go get a drink. Y'all could, even play video games. Like y'all, if you got a PlayStation 5 or PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, you could kind of log in and play the game, and y'all could talk to each other and talk about what's going on in your life. And sometimes, like I said, you feel like you're alone. You feel like you're the only one going through it. But you're not. Like everybody has gone through things. Everybody has been through shit. And sometimes when you get it off of your chest, just having somebody that is there to listen and somebody that is there to understand and can kind of help guide you through just to feel better about it. That means a lot to people, you know what I mean? And I don't want to go too deep into that because we also got this other video that we're going to watch. But what is the purpose of having a brother? The purpose is to have somebody that you can trust and will show you what it means to be loved unconditionally. Somebody that can pick you up when you're down and will always have your back. Somebody that you respect enough to check you when you are out of line. And somebody that will help you be the best man that you can be. Now, I don't know if y'all heard, y'all remember that Genuine and Tank and I think Tyree song. I think it's best man. What can a brother do for me? He can help me be the best man I could be. You know what I mean? That's like a wedding song. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I got this first episode that we recorded. So, like I said, this podcast started with a group of people, me and two other people, two of my boys, that I still consider to this day to be my brothers. I haven't talked to them very much lately. I haven't talked to them in a while. Like I said, I was kind of, took a shot to the heart, when my homie said, fuck the podcast. But like I said, I can't blame him. You know what I mean? Like I haven't been doing my part of, pushing this and making sure that all this is happening. So I can't be mad at that. But let me go ahead and introduce y'all to the ones that I said were a part of this. And maybe, like I said, the title of this episode is If You Build It, They Will Come. If they're meant to be in this podcast, then they will find their way back. They will. I shouldn't be having to go out of my way to try to make somebody a part of this. I need to make this brand or this podcast attractive enough to where people come to me. They gravitate towards the podcast themselves and want to be a part of it. So let's go ahead and get started with this, man. This even for this little bit of edits that I did on this, man, these edits took me like 6 to 8 hours just to do these. I only did a couple of things, you know what I mean? And man, editing is such a hard task to learn, you know what I mean? But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So, all right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna pause it real quick. Brothers of Struggle and Success, boss up. I thought this was so clean when I first did it, and when we was sitting there reading, you know, we had a little notebook, and you could hear the page turn when we first started recording. So then I made this little page thing coming down. I thought that was hard, you know what I mean? But anyways, let's get to it. Hey, yo, what's up with it, boss? Gang. Hold on. I'm just playing. This is a different video, so we're going to come with a different introduction. Hello, world. Welcome to the podcast people. It is your boy GQ. And to the right of me, I got my co-host.
Hey, it's Q baby.
Q. And to the left of me, I got my co-host.
Cam, man, what's up with it?
And we are the Brothers of Struggle and Success. So, to get started, we want to break down what that means to us. Brothers of Struggle and Success. Q, what does brother mean to you? Okay, so I'm going to pause this a little bit as we get through this video. I don't know, this video is a little cringy to me now watching it back, man. I'm a little embarrassed, you know, to even show it. But I wanted to show y'all our first attempt at doing this, and we was all proud of this when we first came out with it. You know what I mean? So this is giving me the guidelines to what this episode is really about, and I just want y'all to hear the perspectives of, you know, my brothers on everything, and you know, I'm gonna follow along with my own PowerPoint, and we just gonna go ahead and keep going through this. Again, this is my brother right here. To the right of me, that's Q baby, and to the left of me, that's Cam. So we gonna go ahead and get through it. And I just asked Q, what does a brother mean to him?
Brother is somebody you could be vulnerable with, you could trust with all your, you know what I'm saying, all your secrets. He's somebody that encourages you to do better. Yeah. He's somebody that you confide in and makes you better, you know. Okay. What about
Cam Bam? Thank you, man. Where's you coming with?
I said a brother is somebody you really could just trust, you know.
Yeah.
So you fall asleep on the couch or so, leave your buddy, you gotta tell you, like, you know, you left your money somewhere
off
or somewhere, like somewhere that's always been there for you.
Off tops, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just want to see you do better.
Yeah. I feel you. So, a brother to me, what I feel like is, I'm an only child, so I ain't never really had no blood-related family, you know what I mean? And I've always wanted to be a brother, you feel me? Whether I had a big brother or a little brother, it don't matter. I seen the differences in me and the other people that grew up, you know what I mean? And I always just wish I had a brother, somebody I could confide in, you know, whatever. So what? All right, and what I meant by that is, you know, we was all nervous at this time. So, man, this was, it's very cringe, you know, and we were sitting here, you know, when we turned the lights on, when we turned the cameras on. I don't know if y'all ever got used to really being in front of a camera and really just, I don't know, knowing that people are going to see it at some point. You kind of get nervous, especially when you got lights and, you know, you're trying to rehearse things and whatever. So what I meant by this is, man, like I want a family, and I don't have a family. I never had brothers. I never had sisters. And I just noticed the people that do have brothers, the people that do have sisters, even if they're baby brothers or if they're older brothers, they just have a different sense, the way that they were raised, you know, like they're different, you know what I mean? Like, you know, in good and bad ways, because I definitely had pros and cons to being an only child too. But, you know, I've always wanted that sense of having a family. And what I'm trying to do with this brand is I want to create a family. Like, this is supposed to be, it's more than just a brand. This is a family. It's a community. Like, I want people to feel safe about like my brother said, Q, like he said, you know, to be vulnerable. This is gonna be a safe place to talk, you know, to vent, to kind of, you know, just know that we're not the only ones going through stuff. And like Cam was talking about trust, you know what I mean? Like people that you can trust, that you can talk to, somebody that have goodness in their heart, and like you know that you could kind of, you know, like you said, be vulnerable with, you could confide in, and also people that you can admire. Because I don't keep nobody around me that I don't respect, that I don't look up to in certain ways. You know, there's certain things in both of these men right here that I look up to them in a way. You know what I mean? And if I don't have that for you, like I can't really keep you around in my circle. I've never been able to, because I mean my circle is so tight. I don't even really fuck with nobody, even them. And I don't. That's not even on the sense that like I don't want to be around them or nothing. It's just in the sense that like I'm an only child, so I like my own space, and especially when I'm going through things, you know, like it's when I'm going through things, I don't my misery don't like company. I like to be alone. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead and keep going. What we trying to do with this podcast is we trying to be brothers to you. You know what I mean? But anyways, you know, brothers are struggling in success. Why do you feel like we need your brothers around you when you going through your struggle and success? Q, what you think?
For me, bro, I just feel like if you're not with me when I'm down, then you don't deserve to see me when I'm up. Mm-hmm. And that's for anybody. That's for women too. But really, just my brother. I want somebody who's been a part of everything, who knows everything about me, who knows how I act in certain situations when I'm down, and how I act in certain situations when I'm up. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where it is. It's like I don't know. I don't want you around me if you ain't there for both of them. Yeah, for sure. All right, so with that, you know, I just wanted to pause that right there, just because I wanted to say, man, like when you know somebody from the beginning, you kind of know the little moods that they go through. So, you know, like, you know, God willing, and you know, I hope, you know, I'm pretty sure that they understand that when I'm going through little funks and I'm trying to get my shit together, they understand that like I need my alone time. And you know, at first they used to get mad, you know, and they used to be like, "Oh, he kind of shady, he kind of fake," you know, like because I don't answer calls, I don't come around. But at the same time, we're grown at this point in our life. We're grown as hell. You feel me? Like we all have jobs. It's hard to connect with each other, and you know, I've been working 6 days a week for the past 2 years now since COVID. So you know, it's hard for me on my one day off. I don't want to go spend it I don't want to spend it outside. I don't want to go to somebody's house and be there all night, even though it is fun. Like I do need that every once in a while, but it's draining. You know what I mean? Like I need my alone time to kind of recharge and stuff. You know what I mean? So I know that, you know, just because I've been around them for so long, they can understand that. Well, let's go ahead and get to my boy Cam. See what he got to say about this.
Sure, definitely. That's how it is. What about you, Cam? What you think? Why do you think it's important for your brothers to be around you during your ups and your downs?
To be honest, I couldn't really said it no different than my nigga Q. That really just somebody that been down with you since day one to know you. That way, like when you going through some shit, nigga, just know your energy off. Like, nigga, what's up?
Yeah.
You know, check you when you down, check you when you up, nigga. Like you doing too much, so you know, just somebody that know you wanna.
Just don't want to see you fall off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, one thing I gotta say about that is, man, Cam has been kind of calling me. He calls me almost, I mean, probably about like once every other week while I'm at work, and I haven't really been able to pick it up either because I'm at work or because I'm asleep, or you know, like I really ain't been able to pick it up, and I do feel bad about it. I haven't called him back, and like I said, man, I just been distant with everybody. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I kind of been in a little funk, you know what I mean? Like, I've been wanting to, I don't know. There's so many things. I just feel like I have so many plans, so many visions in my head, and I'm letting this job drain me, you know what I mean? And one thing that I'm beginning to realize is like, I don't know, like, God has blessed me, you know what I mean? And I hope that if you are listening to this, like, you can feel the same way. Like, because like I said, like, I feel like the realest advice anybody can give is shit that they need to hear themselves. So if I'm speaking as like God has blessed me, I hope that you in your subconscious mind can understand that God has blessed you too. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like I'm healthy. Like like I really don't have nothing wrong with me. You know what I mean? Like I go to work every day, and sometimes I complain about how my body is tired, how my feet hurt, how my hands hurt. Like just recently, my hand swelled up from being in the freezer, and it's kind of hurting me. But at the same time, like I don't know. Like I know y'all heard that story about the person who was complaining because of he didn't have no shoes, but then he met a person that didn't have no feet. And that's kind of cliche, but I really know somebody that lost their hands and feet during COVID. And it's just crazy when you think about it. Like I'm sitting here complaining about going to work, about having, just my feet hurting, about my back hurting, about my hands, whatever. But I really know somebody that they caught COVID and they were forced to get their hands and feet cut off. You know what I mean? And it was just crazy because I seen her on Instagram Live kind of explaining everything that happened. And, you could see she held back tears at certain points, but she was just grateful and happy. Like you could see she was joyful. Like she was such a rich spirit. I used to be close with this person. You know what I mean? Like they was kind of my dog. I used to talk to one of their friends. So, like I used to, we was in college together. I used to, we used to really be kind of close. You know what I mean? And so just to see such a person with a great spirit like that, like a pure spirit like that, like to have to go through something like that, and then they're still happy about life. You know what I mean? Like it's so cliche when people say that. I know it sounds cliche when people say that they're just grateful to wake up another day, but there is a lot of people that are not here no more. Like I'm 31 years old, man. I done lost. And I hate even saying it, like I lost, like I'm the one that experienced it. You know what I mean? Like there's people in this life that there's people in this world that have really lost their life. Like I don't know, like it's crazy, For example, I got a brother named Tony, and he was close with me. He was close. Everybody at this table knew him. He was Q Baby's brother too. We all grew up with him. We grew up with him, and he's not here with us no more. He transitioned, and I don't know. It's just crazy to even think about that. Like that's our brother. That's like us dying. You know what I mean? That's like a piece of us, and we're just sitting here like, whoa. Me personally, I feel like I just been sitting here like complaining about working and being tired and feeling drained, and like I really have the gift of life right now. You know what I mean? And I'm just letting that go to waste. Rest in peace to my brother Tony and my other brother right here, Cam. And shout out Ramon, like my other brother. But they lost, their blood sister in a car accident. Rest in peace, Tiana Cunningham. And I'm sitting here complaining about how like I'm hurt about the situation. Like I haven't got myself together ever since that happened. I remember I was doing so well in life. I was working out, doing push-ups, sit-ups, taking care of everything, doing streaming, doing all kinds of stuff. And then once that happened, like I still haven't picked myself up yet. You know what I mean? Like, and I use that as an excuse to why I'm not doing what I know I should be doing. We all know what we need to do. We just don't do it. Like we all know. We all know what we should be doing every single day when we wake up. We know what we could be doing, but we just keep it as a what we should be doing rather than doing it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's like it's been eating at me lately that I'm really just letting this life go to waste. Cause I mean, my little sister Tiana, like she has so much potential. Like she has so much life ahead of her. She was, I think, 23, 24 years old when it happened. You know what I mean? And she was just the most loving person I've ever met. You know what I mean? And like she didn't even get to live a life. You know, she didn't even get to really try to fulfill her potential like that. You know what I mean? And here I am, you know, having all these ideas, having these visions, you know, having all these aspirations, and I'm just letting it go to waste. Like I don't know. Like I really need to take a look in the mirror and really get serious about this shit. You know what I mean? Like God has blessed me with another day for a reason. I mean, he blessed me with these ideas. He blessed me with this vision. He blessed me with this voice. He blessed me with my health to really get this started. Like, what if I was to die tomorrow? You know what I mean? Like, what did I do with my life? You know, like, how will I be remembered? Like, I could really die tomorrow and it would just be a waste of a life. You know what I mean? Like, because I never put anything into perspective. What's up, AJ? Adriel. Like I said, I'm streaming right now on Twitch. So you know, if you see little messages pop up on the bottom right hand of the screen, that's because they're on my Twitch. And if you ever want to chime in anytime that I'm doing these podcasts or anything else that I do on my streams, you go ahead and chime in, you know, give me your perspective, and you know, we could bounce ideas off of each other or whatever. Or when I'm gaming, you know, we could, you know, play some games or whatever. But yeah, so it's just crazy that like I have all this, you know what I mean? God has blessed me with all of this, and it's just I'm not doing nothing with it, you know what I mean? So today with this podcast, man, like if you build it, they will come. You know what I mean? This is me. I've been saying this in the back of my mind, in the back of my head for the past, ever since I figured out that my first episode was going to be called If You Build It, They Will Come. It's just been sitting in my subconscious mind, and I haven't started yet. So this is me getting started with it. You know what I mean? And I tried actually recording this podcast probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and my computer ended up crashing or something. My stream ended up crashing. So then I ended up having to scrap it, and that kind of discouraged me. But at the same time, I know like this is what I want to do. Why am I sitting here wasting time? You know what I mean? Like I'll never get out of the 9 to 5. I'll never get out of taking orders, taking instructions, getting bossed around by another person until I put this idea into fruition. You know what I mean? Like how am I ever going to work myself out of that? I sit here and complain about having to work 12 hours and then come home and not have energy for anything else. But at the same time, like this podcast, all these ideas, this is what gives me energy to even go to work. You know, like I'm working for something. So why am I not putting my energy into that something yet? But anyways, man, we're going to go ahead and keep on going with this. I don't want to make this too long and go off on too much of a tangent. But yeah, I'm just trying to let y'all know, you know, kind of where my mind's at with this whole thing. You know what I mean? For sure. I definitely think that it's important to have your brothers around you during your ups and your downs, because if they're not down with you when you come up, you know what I mean, then you might attract the wrong energy, you know what I mean? Like you need somebody that's there that can kind of always like remind you where you from, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like because if you get too high on your shit, sometimes life will humble you, and that's, you know, it's tough when that shit happens, you know what I mean? So you need your people around you at all times.
My bro check me, then life check me, nigga. Cause
yeah, and then sometimes and then sometimes you gotta question why the people around you are even around you. Are they around you for the success? You know what I mean? Yeah. So if they've been loyal for the, you know, for certain shit during the beginning, then they're gonna be loyal the whole time.
Yeah, that's real.
And that's not always true, but it is a indicator of a person's heart. And one thing I do have to say is my brother Tony, man. You know, he checked me one time when, you know, and he wasn't the best person. You know, he had his own flaws. He had his own demons that he was fighting every day on a day-to-day basis as well. But I respected him enough. I loved him enough, and I know he cared for me. He wanted the best for me. He saw great in me. But one time he checked me because I was kind of slipping. You know, I was, you know, getting a little too wild, messing with too many women, and, you know, just on some dumb shit. And he pulled me to the side one day and was like, man, you supposed to be great. Like, what are you doing? You know, like, get your shit together. You know, get back on your shit. You ain't supposed to be like us. You supposed to be great. And I never really liked when people said I'm not supposed to be like them because I see greatness in everybody. You feel me? Like everybody can be great. And for him to even say that to me, you know what I mean? And be one of the only people that has ever said that to me, like that he was a great man. You know what I mean? And even the two right here at this table, these are great men. And I hope, if they do see this, I'm sure eventually they will. Uh, I want them to know, you feel me? Like I love y'all, bros, and shit, y'all are great men. You feel me? And I'm gonna build this up. I'm gonna build my vision to be so broad that all the visions that y'all have too. Cause I'm Q baby. I'm gonna play your commercial in a second with your Q Hall company, man. Congratulations, kudos to that, man. You truly always been a inspiration to all of us. You know what I mean? But yeah. So let's go ahead and we broke down why is it important for you to have your brothers around with you during your struggles and success. So let's go ahead and understand and really break down what the word struggle really means. And my fault if my camera is over here covering up these words. But yeah, so the definition of struggle is pretty much obstacles, adversity, challenges. When you're challenging yourself, sometimes you face adversity. You know what I mean? Like you feel like you want to give up. You put yourself in an uncomfortable position, so you're struggling. And struggle is probably like J. Cole said, there's beauty in the struggle. So what is the purpose of struggle? Well, the purpose of struggle is that without struggle, there is no progress. So without struggle, there's no success because you can't reach success without progress. Struggle is necessary for growth and the development of deeply important skills like problem solving, persistence, and self-regulation. It helps you become the person that you are meant to be. Struggle builds character. Let's see, and it builds the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. So pretty much just things that are important to kind of figuring out who you are, like it kind of building your confidence, your strength, your discipline, your self-awareness, your resilience, your courage, integrity. One day we're gonna start breaking down words of all these. We'll probably do one every podcast, but integrity. I want that to be. Let's go ahead and look up the word integrity real quick, because integrity is one of my favorite words nowadays. As I'm starting to get older. Let's see, integrity. The quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness, the state of being whole and undivided. So like when you have integrity, when you're at work and you know you're half-assing your job, if you have integrity, you're going to hold yourself accountable to that and you're going to put forth the effort to get your shit to kind of, just do better. So that integrity is one of the most admirable qualities that a man could have. But also self-control, which also, is kind of discipline, humility, responsibility, ambition, patience, etc. So this quote right here says that neuroscientists have found that mistakes are helpful for brain growth and connectivity. And if we are not struggling, we are not learning. I'm going to let that breathe for a second. Again, if we are not struggling, we are not learning. Like we said before, it's necessary for growth. Not only is struggle good for our brains, but people who know about the value of struggle improve their learning potential. That is a quote from the Community Health Center. Again, I'm going to read that last part. Not only is struggle good for our brains, but people who know the value of struggle improve their learning potential. And the purpose of struggle, the real purpose of struggle is to find your purpose. It's crazy. You know, the purpose of struggle is to find your purpose. Like, like when you figure out like why you want to go through struggle, like I don't know, when you figure out something that is worth struggling for, that is the gonna direct you to your purpose. But let's just say I want to give an example of how struggle, you know, just a plain example of how struggling is good for you. You know, like let's say you start doing push-ups. I don't know, AJ, if you still there, but let's say you start doing push-ups. You know, so so the first day you do 20 push-ups. Now you're gonna struggle in those with those last five, or maybe you can only do 10 push-ups. You know, you're gonna struggle with those last five, whatever. But when you first start, you're gonna be struggling to uh just to do them at all. You know what I mean? And when you get more comfortable with the struggle, when you push yourself past the struggle, you get stronger. So then the next day or 2 days later, doing 10 push-ups, doing 20 push-ups is not as hard anymore because you're starting to be successful and getting stronger. You're starting to get stronger. So then the next day you could do 25 push-ups, but you always have to keep that struggle. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the purpose of struggle. That was just my breakdown of struggle. Now to get to the next part, success. All right, success. So what is the definition of success? Well, success is subjective. So what that means is that it can only truly be defined by a person themselves. So I can't really tell somebody that, because some people will say that success is, let's say right here, like it could be money, you know, success, having a family, having, you know, cars, having clothes, having hoes, whatever, you know what I mean? But then some people think that success is just being happy, being at peace. So it's kind of subjective on who the person is. But every person, every definition of success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. Once you figure out your purpose, once you figure out what direction you want to go in life, uh, success means that you've accomplished that. You know what I mean? One quote that one quote that I actually have on a board, on a whiteboard in my room, is it says, "When a king loses direction, he becomes a servant." That comes from an African proverb. Again, when kings lose direction, they become servants. So, you know, I know everybody kind of knows the quote of when you fail to plan, you plan to fail, but I don't think people really understand how important having goals is. And the importance of writing it is just so that you can see and just so that you can stick to the plan. Because sometimes when you just have the goals in the back of your mind, it's not really real. You know what I mean? Once you write it down, it becomes real. You can always go back to it and you could kind of check what you're doing, where you're at with it. And, you know, it just becomes like a real direction. And, you know, if you don't have goals, if you don't have a direction, if you don't, you know, have something that you're supposed to be doing, you're kind of just floating around like you're wasting life. And I can't lie, I found myself doing that a lot lately because I do have so many goals, I have so many visions, but I don't really put them into, you know, action. I don't really take action on them. So then I wake up every single day and all I do is go to work, and I think that that's what I'm supposed to be doing. But I know there's more to life than just working a 9 to 5 and calling somebody boss, working for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like I have my own goals. I have my own visions that I need to be working on. Now, another definition is just having a favorable or desired outcome, whether that be wealth, favor, or eminence, slash fame, whatever you want to call it. So the purpose of success is to have purpose in life. Because if you don't want to succeed at anything, then what are you doing? Like I said, you're just sitting there wasting life. Like you could die If you don't succeed at anything, you could literally die and you wasted your whole life. And again, success is something that you come up with the definition. Whatever success is in your mind, if you want to find peace, you know, you could go be a Buddhist. You could go be a monk. And, you know, like, even though that they say they have no desires, they don't, you know, whatever, they strip themselves from that. Their true desire is to find peace. You know what I mean? So once they succeed at having peace, then they have succeeded. Like, that was their purpose. They succeeded their purpose. They found their direction. But purpose just gives direction, and without purpose or without setting goals, we have no direction in life. And a quote by John Maxwell was, "You cannot achieve what you have not defined." And I know I got some errors in here, you know, some text errors or whatever. So please, you know, just bear with me. Like I said, man, this is my first podcast, you know, and my next podcast will be better every single time, man. I really plan. I have a vision of one day I'm gonna be on one of my favorite podcasts. It's Peer to Peer Podcast. They interview people, and they're gonna ask me, because they asked all of their people. They was like, "What is your favorite video that you have done so far?" And my vision, just like Tom Brady says, "What's your favorite ring?" And he always says the next one. Man, like I have so many plans on my next episode. What I'm gonna do. So just bear with me with these first ones. If you hear, you a real one, and welcome to the family. You know what I mean? We're gonna grow. AJ, what's happening, man? So yeah, and let's go ahead and get to the next one. So we're gonna go back to the video. Boom. And I don't really know what we talk about too much anymore, but we're gonna just go ahead and get back to it. And you know, whenever it gets to a dead point where I feel like there's nothing left, then we'll go back to the PowerPoint and we'll go ahead and finish this off. Let me actually play this clip from my nephew real quick, you know, since he did come back. I don't think he was here in the beginning. But boom, I want to go ahead and show this. So AJ, we started this podcast off with this right here. This is an important thing. So I want to show you this because I really think it's important for every kid to know this.
Can't do this shit.
Well, what did I tell you about using that word?
Can't should never be in a man's vocabulary.
And why not?
Because when you say can't, you ain't a man.
That's right.
Seek.
Well, what did I tell you about using that word?
Can't should never be in a man's vocabulary.
And why not?
Because when you say can't, you ain't a man.
That's right.
Seek.
You get that, AJ? You hear that? That's important, man. Don't ever use the word can't. Because if you ever want to do anything in life, whatever you want to do, man, you can do it. Just like I see that you've been streaming and stuff lately, man. Just keep doing it. You getting more comfortable on the mic. You getting better, man. Keep doing that, man. You're doing good. So boom, let's go ahead and get back to this. So we coming to you with the Boss Up Podcast. So
I think that's the first time you said that this podcast, bro.
What?
The Boss Up Podcast. I think we need to really put that out there. This is the Boss Up Podcast.
Ball. Yeah. So again, Boss Up. Now I want to make this clear. This is the Boss Up Podcast, and we're gonna break down what that means right here. You feel me? Hashtag that in the comment section. Boss.
Why do you think we picked that name, bro? Why do you feel like Boss Up is the right name for this podcast?
Honestly, anytime that I'm ever going through anything, you know what I mean? When I'm going through my little depression, I don't know, being depressed is really just thinking about the past, and sometimes you get anxious, you think about the future. But You know what I mean? At the end of the day, all you can ever do is accept whatever it is for what it is and boss the fuck up. That means make better decisions in your life. That means just do better in your life, period. You know what I mean?
Go harder.
So that's, I don't know, when they say, what is boss up to you? You know what I mean? I'm just thinking, like, shit, you gotta make better decisions for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
And go harder.
What about you, Ken? What you
Know
feel
what I'm
about
saying?
boss up?
Shit, I was really taught to just keep my toes down and my chin up, you know, no matter what you going through, nigga. You know, you just gonna keep on going, don't let shit stop you, so, you know, just never give up, you know, so nigga really just gotta boss up on that shit.
Yeah, anytime I've ever heard that word, bro, it's always just stick your chest out, stick your chin up, like you said, bro. It's really just like man the fuck up, get on your shit, bro.
Exactly.
And that's what I take it as, and that's what I kind of want to do with this podcast. I wanna be the light for somebody to kind of know that they can be their full potential. You know what I'm saying? Through our words, through our struggles as well.
Yeah, buddy, we're not trying to be we're not trying to be a coach to nobody. We're not trying to be the big homie. We're not trying to be the big brother, the OG. We're not trying to be none of that. You ain't got to look up to us. What we're trying to do is we're trying to share our life experiences with y'all.
Yes.
And if y'all could relate, then hopefully you could boss up with us. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we chose Boss Up, you know, as a title of this podcast pretty much, you know, just to break it down plain and simple.
Yeah, I was looking while we were doing this shit. I was looking kind of. The Urban Dictionary defines boss up as take ownership of one's life by directing the full capacity of their time, resources, and attention towards a specific direction, goal, or intent. In other words, step up, raise your standard, up your game, and take responsibility for the direction of your life and full maturity of your dreams. I think that's a perfect definition, bro. I think that's the perfect thing.
All right, but we're going to go ahead and listen to that again because I wasn't really paying attention. I got sidetracked, but if you are here with me, I want you to understand that definition. Boss up. What does boss up mean from the Urban Dictionary?
The Urban Dictionary defines boss up as take ownership of one's life.
Take ownership of your life. Take accountability. You see how I keep on saying that, like, I'm really putting into perspective that I've been wasting my life, bro. Like, I've been sitting here going to work and coming back home. Honestly, like, I never really seen the value in setting goals, setting plans, because honestly, I didn't even think, I know it's cliche, but I really could not see myself living past the age of 21. And, you know, if you ever get to the backstory of my father's life, if you ever get the backstory of where I come from, where we all come from, you know, like, I don't know, like I never really planned for the future because I didn't really see myself in the future. And even right now, like I said, you know, I just lost 2 loved ones, and there's been other people aside from them that have lost their lives as well. You know what I mean? That I've, you know, kind of been somewhat close to at some point in life. And it's just like, damn, like I really see myself, like, I don't know, like I sometimes I see myself, you know, getting in a car accident, you know, like I ride a motorcycle, like, damn, if I was to get hit or something, like I really be thinking about that. And it's hard for me to really start planning for the future because I never really seen myself having a future. You know what I mean? But it's time for me to start holding myself accountable, taking my life into my own hands.
By directing the full capacity of their time, resources, and attention toward doing this shit. I was looking kind of. The Urban Dictionary defines boss up as take ownership of one's life by directing the full capacity of their time, resources, and attention towards
All right, hold on. Let me finish. I guess I got better.
direction, goal, or intent. In other words, step up, raise your standard, up your game, and take responsibility for the direction of your life and full maturity of your dreams. I think that's a perfect definition, bro. I think that's...
Man, that was the perfect definition. Like, I know if you here with me, man, every day when we wake up, we know what we have to do. We know what we should be doing. We know what we could be doing. We know what, we know everything. Like, just let's say as far as like cooking for yourself, instead of eating fast food, instead of eating candy, instead of sitting at home in bed watching TV, even playing video games sometimes. Like, you could be doing push-ups, you could be doing sit-ups, you could be reading, you could be meditating, praying, you could be
going on a walk, you know, like anything. There's so many things that we can do. Drinking water instead of drinking pop. Stop drinking liquor, drink water, stop smoking, work out. You know what I mean? There's so many positive things that we all keep in the back of our mind of what we should be doing, what we could be doing. And we don't ever, I don't know, it just sits there in the back of our mind and we never put it into action. You know what I mean? So, bossing up is really just putting your time, and your energy, and your focus, and putting it at full capacity towards whatever goal. Set a goal every single day. Write down a list of to-do lists and set a goal and put every effort in your body, every drop of blood, every drop of sweat in your body possible to to reach that goal every single day. If you don't have a goal for the day, then you just wasted the day away. You know what I mean? But man, I keep on going off on these little tangents. Let's try to get through this, man.
Perfect thing.
That's a perfect definition.
Like words for what we trying to do.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. It's kind of hard to even branch off of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's good shit.
But for our podcast, what we want to hopefully be able to do for you is that we just want to provide accountability, promote accountability. You know, like you have to be able to take yourself accountable, and not only you yourself, but you have to be able to surround yourself and take everybody that you surround yourself with accountable for their actions. All right, so what I meant right here, like I said, man, I was kind of nervous. We was all kind of nervous, you know what I mean, for this. No, but they for all of this, I keep catching myself in an ugly manner. But what I want to do with this podcast, what I want to do with this community of Boss, with the Brothers of Struggle and Success, I want to build a community to where we can all hold each other accountable, to where we can hold ourselves accountable, and your brother that's a part of the community. We might even build something to where like you're gonna get to know some people that you probably will never meet in real life, but you know, if you ever talk to them, you know, through, you know, a Discord or through when you're playing the games, or, you know, however you do, you know what I mean? Like you respect them enough to where they tell you like, damn, you know, like you said that you were gonna do this and you're not doing it. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna hold you accountable, type of stuff. But let's keep going. Be able to accountable for you.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. To just accountability is such an important thing in this world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Underrated.
How you do one thing is how you do everything, right?
Exactly. Boom. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you cheating yourself on your health, if you cheating yourself on like I said, if you know that like you should be reading, I know all of us, probably whoever's in this Twitch, whoever is you know, like watching this on YouTube, whatever, I know we all know that we should be reading something, you know what I mean? And we don't, you know? So if you're cheating yourself out of that information, you know, like it's just, even reading, even if you don't have to read something, like it's just, it's cool to just exercise your brain in that sense of reading rather than watching Netflix or playing a video game. Pick up a book and just read a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know. If you're cheating yourself out of, you know, exercising your brain, then you're probably cheating yourself at work. If you're cheating yourself by eating fast food rather than cooking, you're probably cheating yourself with your finances. If you're cheating yourself with not working out and, you know, smoking weed and drinking, then you're cheating your health. You know what I mean? And that's going to be detrimental to your future. And it's probably is detrimental to your mind too. That's probably why you can't stay focused. That's probably why you're going through depression, or you have no energy, and, you know, just stuff like that. So it all goes hand in hand. You know what I mean? How you do one thing is how you do everything, like you said.
Sure.
And we want to be able to level up in every way of life.
Yeah, meaning like financially,
Relationship wise, you know what I mean? Health wise,
You just
you
have to
know,
be sharp
working
on
out.
all cylinders. You feel me?
Yeah,
Everything.
Like
no matter what it is.
like you said, no matter what you do, the way you do anything is how you do everything. So if you cheating yourself in your health, you're cheating yourself in your relationship.
yeah, and
It's all a reflection. You know what I mean?
it's gonna all come back.
Yeah.
The work gonna show and the bullshit gonna show at one point or another. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And with each one of these episodes, we'll be trying to dive into different topics based off of type of shit that you've been through. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of struggles. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of obstacles. How we got through those obstacles. Really just our tips and tricks on like how we're getting through our life and to let people know that what they're going through, they're not alone. Everybody kind of goes through the same
and
thing.
sometimes what works for us ain't gonna work for you. You know what I mean? Like, so we're just sharing our experiences to hopefully that something will trigger whatever works for you. You know what I mean? But we're also gonna be reading books.
Yeah, we're gonna start reading a book and try to put that book out there every other month.
Yeah.
We all gonna get together, read about it, and basically just tell y'all how we felt about the book with like 3 different people.
Yeah, I think books is
that
important,
way.
bro. I think.
Yeah, so since they not with me right now, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and just start off with we had already before when we did this, we had started off reading the 4 agreements. And you'll see it later on. But we started reading the 4 agreements, and basically I'm just gonna break that down and kind of get what I learned from that book and how I can apply it to my life. And hopefully, like I said, man, we're trying to level up in every single way, spiritually, financially, physically, all of that. So I want to bring people. I want people to be. I don't want this to be my own podcast. I'm looking for people to expand this with. Um, I have to go. When can we play? Because I have to go right now. We could play. I probably won't be able to play till like Saturday, AJ. Maybe even Friday, but Saturday for sure. All right. So go have a good day at school, man. Pay attention and either try to meet a new friend or try to learn something new. But yeah. So I want to bring up somebody that I could talk to about stocks on here. I want to bring somebody up here I could talk about health with. Like what are certain health tips that we can do? What are certain challenge? Just I want somebody to be able to challenge us in different type of ways. I want somebody, just all kinds of different things. But let's keep going. I think we're pretty much at a point where we can almost end this.
Enough as a society today, so I feel like.
And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna break down the 4 agreements, and then I'm gonna try to at least try to read a book every single week. But if I can't finish the book, I guess I'll just break it down into parts with every podcast. Maybe we keep doing the PowerPoint thing. If not, we'll figure out something. Like I said, man, this is my first podcast, and we gonna grow together. You know what I mean?
Us doing that will sharpen our sword, and we can what I'm saying, just kind of put our opinion out for the viewers for sure.
It'll help you. All right. Now with that, just had a dead point right there. What I wanted to do too is man, get a special shout out to my motherfucking brother, man. So, boom, we're gonna come back here. Boom. Now, bringing to you our proud sponsor of the Boss Up Podcast, Q Hall. Now, this is practice for when I do get some sponsors, because I plan on getting some sponsors eventually. But this is my brother's. He started his company, and it's a junk removal company called Q Hall. Like I said, his name is Q Baby. I ain't gonna say his real name, but Q Baby, and instead of U Haul, it's Q Hall, where he's no job too big or small. You know what I mean? He's taking let's see, he's doing junk removal. So he has a truck. He has a truck bed where he goes around and he picks up just certain things. Y'all go ahead and kind of watch. I wish there was some sound to this, but I don't think there is. So if you need any service and you're in the Colorado area, don't hesitate to call him. He's definitely has some of the best prices that you could get out right now. And you can see all his information right there, for Instagram, Facebook, all that. But yeah, it's amazing that he's even started this, man. I'm proud of him. And, that's beautiful, man. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him real quick on that. Now, I think we're at the end of that. I don't really want to watch too much of that anymore. So now the questions to ask yourself. So for this podcast, we already went over everything that we was gonna go over. So the questions to ask yourself after you watch this podcast is, who do you call your brother? Or if you're a woman, when I say brother, man, just know that I'm just speaking as in, it means sister too. But I'm a man, so I'm speaking to men, and even if I'm speaking to, I don't want to keep saying brother, sister, brother/sister, but just understand if I'm saying brother and you're a woman, like to you I mean sister, whatever. So who can you call your brother? Who will be around through the ups and the downs? Does your struggle have a purpose? So when we talk about struggle, no matter what, you're gonna have struggle in life. Let me bring my camera back up over here. No matter what, you're gonna have to struggle in life. Now, you're either gonna struggle in life because you're trying to reach a goal, because you're trying to succeed at something, or like I said right here, struggle is inevitable. You will either struggle trying to achieve a goal, or your life will be the struggle. Do you want your life to be a struggle? Do you think it's not hard to live paycheck to paycheck? You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? If that's peaceful to you, if that's successful to you, and you have goals to where, living paycheck to paycheck, you could definitely support a family with that. But then when something happens, you know what I mean? Like, let's say a medical emergency happens and you don't have that savings, then your life becomes a struggle, because you don't have everything that you could have had if you had been setting goals to, like setting goals to get yourself financially stable. So does your struggle have a purpose? And what does success mean to you? Like I said, it is subjective. Success means different things to everybody. So what does success mean to you, so that you can start trying to set goals to reach that? And what does it look like to you? All right. So boom. Now I wanted to kind of go over a brief description of my vision for this channel and for this brand. So my vision for the Boss channel, because this Boss on my YouTube will be called Boss / Brothers of Struggle and Success. My visions for this channel is to create a brand. And this brand is more of like a sense of family, something bigger than me that will live forever, and support the ones who truly wish to be involved. Support the ones I love, you know what I mean? Like I said, I was just talking to my nephew AJ through here, man. I want to be able to, my brother Tony, rest in peace, that had transitioned, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to be there for his son, and right now I know I can't do that. I'm not there where I need to be. But with this channel, my vision is I want to be able to be there for them. I want to be able to be a role model for them and help them, so that when they get older, they have something to look to, like they have knowledge, you know what I mean? I know, my nephew, AJ, he has his dad in his life, you know what I mean? But it's always better to have a village, you know what I mean? To be raised with a village. And my other nephew, Tony's son, unfortunately, he's not with him no more. So I want to be able to support him, even from afar, you know what I mean? I want to be able to be there for him and, kind of, I don't know, whatever. And I want to support the ones who are involved in this, you know what I mean? I want them to be able to get something from this. But my vision for this channel, for this brand, is really to inspire, to educate, and to heal. So with that, I'm going to be doing the Boss Up podcast, and that's really, the Boss Up podcast is meant to inspire, educate, and heal. And on the podcast, really what it's going to be is it's going to be encouraging leadership and leveling up physically, financially, and spiritually. We're going to be promoting healthy habits, motivation, accountability, and discipline. It's going to be a safe place to talk, like a lot of times, maybe I'm even try to have some callers or something to where we could talk and, kind of go over some things, because I feel like, especially as men, like we don't really have people to talk to. You know, women, they're comfortable with being able to talk to each other and being able to talk to their family, and they always have somebody they could talk to. As men, we feel like we got to deal with it on our own, and that's not really healthy because eventually, you know, like it will start to get to you. It will start to drain your energy. It will start to curve you. You know what I mean? Smooth, what's up, bro? Shit, I'm in the middle of doing this little podcast, man, trying to get this first episode out. Um, but now, I also want to be able to entertain, you know, be a sense of entertainment with this channel. Now I don't know if y'all watch, if y'all know about the No Jumper. Just got off, my boy. Yeah, me too. I got off about 2 hours ago, man. And I've been saying I was gonna do this damn podcast for so long, man. It's just time that I actually put it to, you know, really get into it instead of just talking about it and letting it go for another 2 years, you know, to where I'm not doing nothing. You feel me? So I'm just trying to get to it now. But yeah, I want to do, you know, this. I do want to be a little source of entertainment with this channel, with this brand. And I want to branch off. I don't know if y'all seen No Jumper, but they have like 10 different podcasts that they have on their channel. And I kind of want to do that with this channel, with the Boss channel. I want to have the Boss Up podcast. Then I also want to have something called the Boss Cave or something like that. You know, these are just ideas out there, but it's going to be the Boss Cave, where it's going to be barbershop sports talk. You know, it's going to be everything that's going on in the basketball, football, you know, baseball, hockey, boxing, all that type of, you know, like, and I don't know nothing about baseball or hockey, but I would definitely like to have somebody on the panel to where they could kind of inform us about everything that's going on. But I definitely want to be able to talk about basketball, football, boxing, you know, bring somebody else on that could kind of go on through that with me, you know, and, you know, just kind of give us even a insight on sports betting, you know, like I don't have anything against betting, but I kind of see it as almost like stocks, you know what I mean? Like I want to bring somebody on the Boss Up podcast. I want to bring somebody up that knows stocks and can kind of give us financial advice, you know, about stocks or just about certain, you know, certain financial tips that they could give us to kind of, you know, get a savings account and, you know, kind of travel and, you know, just build our financial portfolio. But with this sports talk, you know, like let's just say last week we had Usman. He just got beat by Leon Edwards, I think his name is. And I want to be able to talk about that when it happens, or, you know, because I know people want to talk about that, you know, like so the Boss Cave, the title of that came from, you know, like if you have a man cave, like a lot of people want a man cave in their home. And that's basically what it is. It's just man replaced with the word boss, you know what I mean? And it's going to be a community of us where we can all talk about this. So yeah, you know, just talking about things like, you know, like I said, Usman just got knocked out, you know, just got his head kicked off by Leon Edwards. And that shit was crazy because like I was watching that fight and, you know, I thought Usman had won it. You know, he was literally like less than a minute away from breaking the record to having the most wins consecutively in UFC history. And, you know, there's like 56 seconds left or something, and everybody was all writing Leon Edwards off and was saying that he gave up or whatever. And then just out of nowhere, boom, just kicked his ass in the head. And Usman was out for the count. I think it's the first time he ever got knocked out. And, man, that was pretty crazy. But then we also got, I think, who we just had fight? We had, for boxing, we had Anthony Joshua that fought Usyk. And Usyk, I definitely had Usyk beat him in again because Anthony Joshua just, I don't think he has the hunger for it. But they both look sloppy, and I think they both lose to Tyson Fury. And I think they both even might lose to Deontay Wilder if he could get his stuff together and kind of get back in the ring and be on his game too. You know, I think he could definitely beat both of them too. We also got this basketball thing going on. You know, I'm really into basketball. My boy Smooth is too. We go back and forth, you know, just about, you know, KD and LeBron, and with this whole KD fiasco that's been going on about, oh, he said he wants to get it traded and then he don't get traded. And then, it kind of had the basketball world in a frenzy. So now that we know that he's staying with the Nets, we're gonna see what happens with the Lakers. LeBron's legacy is already cemented. But we'll see if KD could get another chip. I think he might be able to. I know Smooth probably gonna try to get on me about saying that. But like in all honesty, KD might be able to. He got a team. He got a squad over there with the Nets. And I want to be able to talk about all that football. We got Russell Wilson just got on to my team with the Broncos. I don't really know what they're looking like. I haven't really watched football in a long time because I work every Sunday night. But I'm definitely excited to see Russell Wilson in that orange and blue. And then for the next podcast, I got a Boss's Soul. Like I said, these are just ideas. I don't know if that's going to be the title or not. But I also want to have barbershop music talk, kind of just updates and critiques on music from the culture. So basically that just means hip hop and R&B, stuff like that. I think when this had first came out, I think Drake's album had just came out, and that was a complete flop, disaster, you know what I mean? And it was a surprise. But I think, like if I really get into it, I think he's just kind of ahead of the curve. And he sees that dance music is kind of starting to light up and get on fire right now. And so he dropped his album. And once that really catches wind of everybody, like they all hop on the trend, he's going to already have that album out. And he's going to be able to say that he set the trend for that. And who else's album just came out? I think DJ Khaled's album just came out, man. Every time I listen to it, I never liked DJ Khaled for some reason. It's not that I didn't like him. I just thought he was kind of annoying. But every time I listen to any of his albums, man, his albums are always bangers from front to back. Like his whole album is filled with hits. You feel me? So if you have not heard that, I suggest you go listen to that. But yeah, I just want to also give insight on what's to come with just music and that whole thing. You know what I mean? Boom. So now that we done talked about all that, man, I don't know how long this podcast has been going. It's probably been going on for about an hour now, I think. I don't know, maybe even longer. I think I started at like 5 something. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, man, if you still here with me, man, you made it to the end of this, man, you a real one. If not, that's cool too. But this is kind of just an outline of what I'm kind of basically trying to do with the Boss Up Podcast episode 2. The title of that episode will be Fight or Flight. So in that episode, I'm going to first off explain why I chose the title. Oh yeah, Joey Badass just dropped the album. What is it called? 2000? I think it's called 1999 or 2000 or something like that. Yeah, Joey Badass is pretty hard. And I also want to have I've been doing a GQ's reviews, GQ's point of view and reviews, and I kind of been talking about, just power basically. And I also wanted to kind of branch off and start doing, I'm going to do BMF when it starts up. Again, I'm going to do Snowfall, just reviews on those. And I kind of want to do one with, just the whole Boss community. So, if anybody ever does want to be a part of that, maybe that could be something, a different, not podcast, but like a different thing that we have on the Boss channel, and I think that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, but yeah, Joey Badass, he also had a album that just dropped in. Yeah, the album is pretty fire too. So if you haven't listened to that, I suggest you go hear that too. Yeah, so with the episode 2, Fight or Flight, I'm gonna explain why I chose the title Fight or Flight. It's kind of deep. I know it's kind of simple, but it's kind of deep at the same time. You know what I mean? So make sure you tune in for that so that you can understand why I chose that. But with that, I'm going to start doing my breakdowns and reviews on the books that I'm reading. And the first one I'm going to do, like I said, is The Four Agreements. That's the first book that me and all my brothers started reading when we first had the idea of doing the podcast. And we were supposed to get to that, but we never did end up getting to the second episode. So with this second episode, I'm going to go ahead and do my review of The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz and Janet Mills. And honestly, the only reason why I read that is because I remember I seen an interview where Nipsey Hussle. He was doing on, I think, 10, not 106, The Breakfast Club. And he named a couple of books that he said like changed his life. And one of them was The Four Agreements. I've read that book probably like, this is going to be like my fourth time reading it. 2K23. Oh yeah, I also want to do like a little gaming thing with the whole boss community. But yeah, 2K23 is coming out pretty soon. I'm not really too excited about it, man. I'm kind of done with 2K, but I don't know. We'll see how it is. I'm definitely gonna hop on it though, and we'll see how what happens with it. But yeah, so we're gonna review the Four Agreements, and like I said, Nipsey Hussle he had listed the Four Agreements. He also said, what is the other one? The Alchemist. I've read that book once. I started reading it twice because we were gonna break that one on the podcast, and I never got around to it again. And he also said, The Richest Man of Babylon, and I think Think and Grow Rich too. But the only ones that I read was the Four Agreements and the Alchemist. So we're going to go ahead and break down the Four Agreements. And the way that we're going to break it down, we're also going to talk about what we learned from it, or what I learned from it, and how I can apply it to my life. You know what I mean? Or how you can apply it to your life. And in the next episode, I'm going to have more of a deeper sports and music section. Like I said, I want to have my own like a own separate podcast for the sports and the music section, and even for the gaming and for the reviews of like just movies and TV shows and stuff like that. I want to have like separate podcasts for that, but until I can expand this, until I can get other people involved with this, I'm gonna have to do it all in one. So I'm just gonna have kind of like a brief sports and music section talking about what's going on in the sports world, the music world. 2K23 might come out by that time. If it do, we'll give a little quick review on that. I don't know. I told Smooth to download Discord, so if he does, he might be able to hop in on a call, and we could kind of break down, give a review about the 2K23, how that's going. But I'm also gonna give a practical health tip. Kind of just something like along the lines of like cold showers, kind of breaking it down on what that does for you, or, just something real practical that you can incorporate into your life, into your day-to-day life, to where like it'll help you feel better, like help you get your health back in line. You know what I mean? And again, just with every Boss Up podcast episode, we're gonna go ahead and what it's gonna do is it's just giving encouragement, motivation, and advice on how to boss up. So that is hold on, let me go ahead and read this. He said, I learned the easiest way to read books, at least for me, is listen to them on Audible while I'm at work. Yeah, I listen to Hustle Harder. What is it? Hustle Smarter, Hustle Harder by 50 Cent, and he was reading the book, and it's free on YouTube too. But he reads the book with his own voice, and I don't really usually like the people that read the books, on Audible, because they kind of have boring voices. But with 50 Cent's voice, you already know, like when he be narrating on Power and stuff, like he got a cold voice. So when he was reading his own book, I don't know, that was pretty hard to me. But yeah, I be trying to read books, but I like to take notes on them too. So there's certain books that I don't want to I don't want to listen to on audio, just because I want to actually pay attention. But I do find that it's kind of cool to listen to it, and then if I want to go back and read it, then I can. You know what I mean? But yeah, some people could definitely just get what they need from it by listening to it. So I mean, I think just any way that you could retain knowledge, and you kind of get the books that are, that you're interested in, I think is good either way that you do it. But yeah, that about does it for the first episode of the Boss Up podcast. Again, this episode is called If You Build It, They Will Come. And the reason that I chose that is because, honestly, I've had this vision in my head for years now, literally years, and I have not put it, I have not started on it. I've not got it started. So this is just me getting started, and you know, I got to lay this thing brick by brick by brick. I got to lay the foundation. And I know this is the first episode. I'm not going to get too many views. I'm surprised Smooth hopped in this. AJ, you know, I got to show him love because he been hopping in all my streams. And, you know, I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all for, you know, coming through. You dig? And I don't know. You know, I'm going to keep on building this. You feel me? Smooth, you know, I definitely got a spot for you that I'm trying to build with you. You know, we need to figure out something that we could do so that we could, you know, kind of start doing our thing. Maybe you could join in on this, or maybe you could join in on the sports talk or whatever. You feel me? But again, I'm gonna go ahead and play this last. Gonna play this clip one more time, just for the people that forgot. You know what I'm saying? We started this episode off with this clip right here, and this is me to myself. Like I said, when I get off of work every day, I've had this plan in my head for so long, and I keep telling myself that I'm gonna do it tomorrow, or I can't do it today because I'm tired, or you know I'm drained or whatever. I'm not in the mood to do it no more. So this was a clip to get me motivated to get it started. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get to it.
Can't do this shit.
Well, what did I tell you about using that word?
Can't should never be in a man's vocabulary.
And why not?
Because when you say can't, you ain't a man.
That's right.
See?
Well, what did I tell you about using that word?
Can't should never be in a man's vocabulary.
And why not?
Because when you say can't, you ain't a man.
One more time. You know, 3 is a good number. You feel me? 3 is a good number. So we're gonna go ahead and listen to it one more time.
Never be in a man's vocabulary. Can't should never be in a man's vocabulary.
And why not?
Because when you say can't, you ain't a man.
That's right.
See?
Boom. We gonna go ahead and get out of it. You know, get out of this on that note. You dig? So man, send me the link to download the podcast or whatever. Discord. Discord is an app. Just download Discord through your app, and then once you get it, send me a text, and then I'll send you a friend request on there. But you're gonna have to make an account. So, but it's free. Everything's free. And then once you get on there, it's almost like having a PlayStation app where you can kind of talk to people on it or whatever. But it's better though. Like I don't know. Like you could literally, like if you was on Discord right now, me and you could literally be talking right now, about the podcast. Like, yeah, well, I could even like pull up your picture right here or your video. You feel me? And like your face could be right there. You feel me? Like I watch podcasts where they do the whole podcast on Discord and stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna post this up and then I'll send you this link when I get it posted. So, man, like the clip said, man, can't should not be in a man's vocabulary. And why is that? Because when you say can't, you ain't a man. So again, set some goals every single day, even if it's just something small, like waking up earlier, doing 20 push-ups, staying a little bit longer at your job, drinking water, cooking, you know, anything, man. Just set a goal for the day. And until we get to the next episode, man, just keep trying to set goals. And no matter what, until if it's a goal for the day, make sure you do not go to sleep until you achieve that goal. All right. So till the next time, man, get some exercise, get some sun, drink your water. Make sure you take care of your peace of mind. You dig? Peace.